Welcome to another season of Islanders Insider. We come to you today from the Dugan Family Soccer and Track Stadium here on the campus of Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. I'm Stephen King. We're going to be joined by Islanders soccer head coach Shanna Caldwell, as well as the head coach of Islanders volleyball, Tony Graystone. That's coming up today. Also, Teddy Medina will be checking in with a profile on Islander men's basketball and their, very interesting workout schedule prior to the season. Let's go ahead and start things off right now, though, as we are joined by the head coach of Islanders women's soccer, Coach Shanna Caldwell. Coach, welcome.
Pleasure.
Here we go. We're in your facility, by the way, today.
Yes, we are. Got a little locker room set up. Glad to get it on TV.
Your situation was very interesting this year. This is your first season. You came in last year, you started your recruiting, but this is your first year. Now, once you had your athletes, you had them for 3 weeks in a preseason camp. Tell me about those 3 weeks and what were you hoping to accomplish in that short period of time?
It definitely was unique because we have 25 kids that came in, and some of them was the first time I'd met them. We had a couple kids that had committed before coming down for an official visit, so it was really just thrown into the fire, hit the ground running, and just see what we got. And the team chemistry kind of took off on its own. We had some really strong leadership from a couple of the transfers, and really some of the freshmen stepping up. Cordero had been here. She started in January. She was our lone player this spring. Yeah. So that really helped having her here, kind of knowing the ropes, along with Audrey Baldwin, Jessica Burdan, and some of the other ones really just kind of stepping up and getting a hold of the team off the field. And on the field, we started from the basic fundamentals and really trying to secure our defense, and so far, the product's been good.
It has been good, there's no doubt. Well, you had 3 weeks of work, then a smidge of time down before all of a sudden your very challenging schedule got underway. Now, what was interesting is the very first game was a home game here at the Dugan Family Soccer and Track Stadium, as I mentioned. And truthfully, being the first game, we really didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Almost 1,200 people showed up, and it was unbelievable. What was the impact of that crowd and the crowds we've had here at home?
I was really excited to see who was going to show up at the game, because the support for the year and a half building up to the season has been so great. Just people stopping us in the grocery store or wherever we're out and about town. So to see all those fans actually show up for the first game and really get behind us, I think was huge for the girls on the team and for our program in general. And then to sustain that strong, maybe not as many, but that's still a strong showing for women's soccer on an 11 o'clock Sunday game, to have over 600 fans. I think it says a lot about the product that we're going to put out on the field, and just the support from the community in general, being behind Islanders athletics.
As the season got underway, you had 3 one-goal losses, followed by an incredibly dramatic win on the road at UTSA. Tell me about the emotional state of this team, they continue to fight as hard as they do, be close, but then once they got over that hump and got the big win, tell me about how they've reacted, how they feel.
They've never used the fact that we're a brand new program as any kind of crutch. They've embraced it and accepted the challenge, and we've always talked about that. We look at the big picture, and the big picture is getting us ready for conference play and using these games to tweak the little things, learn from every experience. And I think we've pretty much had that in almost every game. We've gone through ups and downs. We've had some tough calls go against us and had to deal with adversity with some injuries. And I think they've really risen to that. And, we still will have some learning curves to go, but right now I'm happy with where we're at.
Prior to the season and all last year, you were out there recruiting the entire country. You were on the East Coast, you were in Vegas, you were all up and down. Did you actually expect possibly the one person who's leading your team in scoring to be a young girl from Corpus Christi, Texas?
Yvette Franco has done awesome. We knew that she was a special kid. We didn't know how quickly she was going to take off. And I think she surprised all of us. Everybody maybe except herself, because she's got that self-belief, which you can't coach, and it's been a pleasant surprise, but not one that we didn't know was within her capabilities.
Well, she's been exciting to watch, no doubt. There are so many others too as well, though. I think one of the key things for your team, and what's kind of unique being a starter program, is that you actually do have a senior on your roster, and I think this is a senior that's had substantial impact in this locker room in particular.
Yeah, Baldwin has done wonders on and off the field. You know, she is a senior. She had some success at the junior college level and went through kind of a frustrating time at her previous college, but she just, you know, the experience you gain of being in college and being a senior, you know this is your last time around, and you know the little things and the sacrifice that it takes to build a program to where it needs to be, and I can't thank her enough for her leadership.
Total team contribution, though. We've talked about Yvette Franco, we've talked about Audrey Baldwin, but there are a lot of people out there on the field. And tell us a little bit about some of these unsung heroes. There's players like another Corpus Christi girl, Danny Gonzalez, Emma Biba, you know, Callan Radona, Lisa Miller. There are so many different names and faces that are contributing and having an impact.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we always try to say is that every single player on this team matters, whether they get 2 minutes, no minutes, or they start 90 and you know, play every game. What they do at the field at practice and how they prepare themselves every day makes a difference to everybody on the team. And like I said, Beebs she's a solid, she's quiet leader out there, and she goes about her business, but she's tough to beat. You know, Danny's got a lot of speed and athleticism, is able to come in and make some key tackles at UTSA. She got in, stopped a breakaway, last second tackle. Callie provides us a presence in the middle of the field. And when she hits you, you know she hits you. She leaves her mark. And Miller's scrappy. You know, we have Keeley coming in, subs in up top, and you know the work rate that she has. Hannah Joseph stepped up lately. We got players everywhere. That you know, Brooke Erdman had a huge second half against UTSA. You know, it's every game it's somebody a little bit different, and then you have your consistent players, which is nice.
Yeah, a lot of times when people, if you're just a box score person, you may see only scoring, but there are so many people contributing in their own way out there on the pitch. There's no doubt. The one thing about it is they're playing well. You're getting a lot out of them. But one thing that I think makes this team is really this team chemistry that has come together, considering they've only been together a short period of time. How did this come about? How did they get something so incredibly close?
I mean, I would love to say I had the answer to that, but they really just kind of clicked off the field, and they said some of the leadership from the other kids just kind of bring them together. They did a lot of team bonding on their own without us coaches being around, and I think they just, you know, they're embracing being the new kids on campus, and you know, they love getting involved in anything and everything they can, and their personalities have just kind of clicked.
Well, it all starts September 20th when Southeastern Louisiana comes to town here at the Dugan Family Soccer and Track Stadium. We want to see everybody come join us once again. Coach, great start to the season. Congratulations on your success thus far, and big things ahead. Coach, thank you again. I appreciate you coming in today, and look forward to the rest of the season.
Great talking with you today. Thank you.
Absolutely. When we come back, we'll be joined by Islanders Insider's own Teddy Medina, as he'll share with us a little bit of a story about Islander men's basketball and their interesting off-season workout regimen. That's coming your way right here on Islanders Insider.
It's that time of year again when all the conditioning and all the hard work pays off. It's time for the State Farm Southland Conference Mascot Challenge. Izzy's been putting in long hours getting ready, and he needs your help. Vote online via the Southland Conference Facebook page or by visiting tinyurl.com/mascot1314. The winning program gets $5,000. So vote every day. Go Islanders.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, let's check in with Teddy Medina and his report on Islander men's basketball and their very unique off-season workout regimen.
On July 31st, the Islanders men's basketball team took part in the Marines Combat Fitness Test at the Naval Air Station Corpus Christi in an array of drills designed to push them mentally and physically.
I mean, when you're carrying somebody and all that kind of really messes with your quads. I mean, they're on fire, so that's basically all you're thinking about, is just trying to get through the end of the line and drop it and kind of get the pressure off your legs.
Bar none, the maneuver on the fire, the particular obstacle course that we shot today, that's the most challenging one. Because I like the word that Captain Nav used for the drill to describe it. He said it's dynamic, because there's just a lot of pieces to it. And memory-wise, just trying to retain exactly all the steps that you have to go through to finish in time. that's challenging in and of itself. You're getting a challenge there cognitively as well as physically. I mean, they're having to remember exactly where my body goes, where I pick this guy up, and this and that. So that's definitely something that they're not used to.
With how strenuous the drills were, the players had to rely on their teammates for motivation, building better chemistry and camaraderie that will carry on throughout the season.
But everyone came out here and they grinded. That's all you can expect from this team.
What we saw, the kind of unity that we expected from guys, we saw that come out, and really character. So I mean, every single person on this team has a particular character that comes out in these kinds of situations. But more importantly, we saw the character of the team come out, and I think to me that makes me feel great knowing that the competition gets tough as we approach this 2013-2014 season. We can hopefully see that same character come out in the times that they need it.
Anytime we get to compete, it builds the competitive nature within the team, and anytime we get after each other and guys are competitive, it makes everyone better on the team. So it's a good thing for our team and the program.
Overall, their performances were very impressive. Even the Marines took notice of how their athleticism translated into the quality of their performance.
I thought it was excellent. It's I think they came out here today. This is a pretty grueling event, and they performed really well this morning.
They did an awesome job. I was impressed. I mean, this is one of the more complicated tests that we have in the Marine Corps. There are a lot of different stages. You could see it through the entire thing. There's like 6 or 7 different movements, and they caught on really fast and really put out really well. I was impressed.
I was excellent. A lot of really good athletes. I expected they'd come out and be able to run real well with most of their training. I was really impressed with some of the strengths and the buddy carries and some of the stuff we saw out here today that was going to be a little more physical for them. So I was interested to see how they do, and they really performed very well. Had some great times.
We outfitted Cole Martinez with a camera for the maneuver under fire drill to give you a first-person perspective of the course. Here's some of what he saw.
Did I get it? Did I hit it?
For Islanders Insider, I'm Teddy Medina. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider as we come to you from the locker room here in the Dugan Soccer and Track Stadium. At this time, we're joined by the head coach of Texas A&M Corpus Christi Islander Volleyball, Coach Tony Graystone. Coach?
Good to be here.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
First off, congratulations again. Tremendous season last year. 21 wins. Best season in A&M Corpus Christi history. 3rd place finish in the Southland Conference. Fact of the matter is now, though, the bar's been raised.
For sure.
The bar has been raised. There's absolutely no flying under the radar anymore. You're in a situation now where you're definitely the hunted instead of the hunter.
I guess so. But, when you come to build a program, you didn't come to be mediocre. You wanted to get to the top of the conference. And with that comes some different expectations. People look at you a little bit different, and that's fine. We're ready for it.
Got to be ready for it. There's no doubt. And it should be exciting. It's what we've seen so far. It definitely is. Now, I want to take a step back, though. We spoke with Coach Caldwell earlier and talked a lot about preseason workouts and what they had to go through. Similar situation with you guys where it's not only preseason, but it's also pre-semester workouts. What additional issues come along with bringing athletes on campus before the semester even starts?
I like it myself because we don't have to worry about classes. We can just, we're in 2 days, we're in the gym 8 hours a day. We don't have to worry about anything. When they changed the academic calendar on us this year, it actually benefited because we didn't run into summer 2 overlapping with the start of 2-a-days. It was a little bit different having a road trip before classes started. I've never been through that before. But all in all, I've been happier with it. I like it the way it is a little bit more right now. We have a little bit more time without those additional classroom responsibilities. We can really focus on the preseason.
And just that, that access to your athletes.
Yeah. And once classes start, everything kind of changes for the athletes. They got a whole new list of things they got to be responsible for, and takes up their time a little bit more, and keeps them from getting fully prepared for practice some days. They got a lot of other things on their mind. They don't have that prep time like they usually have.
Understood. Now, you have 2 preseason all-conference selections in junior Brianna Brink and, of course, your senior setter Logan Bork. With accolades, a lot of, comes responsibilities. things come with it. Now, do these two embrace those additional responsibilities and that leadership role that's probably asked of them?
Yeah, absolutely. Logan, for sure. This is no question. This is her team, and we've spent the last 4 years kind of not only prepping her for this year, but just kind of watching her develop and grow and gain her own confidence and her own voice, and to see her kind of blossom in this role, it's pretty cool. And but it's nice to know that the team is totally behind her. There's no conflict or fighting for that role. That they know it's her team, and she's doing a great job with it. And since there's no competition for it, she can fully show her personality and do it her way, and it's been a good match. Brianna is kind of the next one in line, I guess you'd say. When Logan's gone, we'll have to turn the team over to somebody else, and Brianna's prepping for that for sure. There's a couple other girls in there that you would consider for that role as well. But when you're an outside hitter in our program, for sure, in our system, there's a lot that goes into it. And I've always kind of built my teams around outside hitters, and especially 6 rotation players. So Ivy and Bree, those are 2 prototypical girls for the way we like to run our system. And so there's some leadership that goes along with that as well.
The outside hitters, solid, no doubt.
Yeah.
But you've practically had a complete turnover in the middle blocker position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last year's squad, those people are gone. Now you're filling the role with freshmen, Shaquin Parker, Abby Whitehead, along with senior Sarah Sanchez, who's actually more of a convert from an outside hitter, but you're asking her to take that middle blocker role. How difficult is it to train somebody to be an impactful Division I middle blocker?
It's tough. And this is why that position probably gets filled at the D1 level faster than anything. It's really tough to find a quality kid who can come in and play right away. There's just so many things they got to be responsible for, and they got to create their own offense and put at that block, and it's a work hard position, obviously. So not everybody's cut out for it, but if you're a good one, you get snatched up pretty quick. And so for us to kind of be in the situation where we had to turn over that position pretty much last minute, we were pretty fortunate to get Shaq in here, and she's going to be a really good player. There's no question. She's just a little bit raw, but she's already doing some pretty nice things. And for Sarah, right now I kind of think Sarah's kind of saving our season, because she has stepped right in, and she hasn't played middle since she was in high school, and we didn't sign her to be in middle. We wanted her to be an outside hitter, and her career has pretty much been derailed by injuries, and she's got 1 season left, and she'll play anywhere we put her, and so she's taken on this middle blocker position and just ran with it, and I think she's doing a great job.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, you're not shy, definitely, when it comes to scheduling. You don't hide. You put together another tough pre-conference lineup. To this point, your team has competed against some heavy hitters. Kind of tell us about this squad, because some people may not realize, yes, after Monday's matchup, the team is currently 2-5, but the people that you have played have been all high caliber.
Yeah, and that's where the preseason, you can go in a couple different directions. You can schedule preseason for a record, or you can schedule it to get ready for conference, and that's what we're trying to do. And so obviously we want to win, but at this point it kind of comes secondary to making sure that the team is prepped the right way, and when we get into Southland play, that we're just good to go. And this schedule couldn't have prepared us any better. We're seeing teams that are bigger than us, that have more experience than us, that have either great outside hitters or great middles. And when you play a team like Little Rock that got these 2 just hammers on the outside, we don't see that every day. And so that really helps us prepare for down the road when we see a team like Central Arkansas that's got some really nice outside hitters, and LSU with their athleticism and their middle blockers and how high above the net they are. If we can compete and score against teams like that, then that gives us a lot of confidence going into the conference, even though our record may not be that great.
Yeah, well, some people maybe outside don't understand that, but anybody inside volleyball.
Oh, for sure.
Inside volleyball
for
gets
sure.
it, sure.
Yeah.
Now, the home opener this past Monday, wow, record-setting crowd. 1,270 people made it their way into the Dugan Wellness Center. The energy was downright amazing. I want you to comment on that. But also, with all those eyes, sometimes comes a little bit of pressure as well, too. You got a lot of young players in particular. Do you concern yourself with that? Like, it's great to have everybody here, but you really interested to find out how they're going to react to all of that?
Yeah, everything's a test. And, you saw the way the match started. We got down early in that first set, and that was just classic nerves. They were over trying. They wanted to play well in front of their fans. They were excited to be home for the first time, and they just didn't handle it very well. And they're playing a good team on the other side that helped speed that along. And so once we got out of that first time out, everybody calmed down, and we played really well from that point on. But yeah, when you get home, you just want to be impressive. You want to put on a good show. You want your fans to come back, and so there's a little bit of that going on. But that crowd was amazing, and you know, since I've been here, we've drawn over 1,000, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time it's just like that, nice and loud, and everybody hates to come in and play, and that's exactly what we want.
Night in, night out?
Yeah, if we do that 12 times a year, then we'd really have something. That'd be great.
No doubt. Now, you got a handful of games under your belt right now. How would you grade out your team to this point? And secondly, what ultimately level do you need to take it to win the Southern Conference title?
Well, you know, preseason, I'd give us an incomplete. You know, we're just not finished yet. We're getting better every day. We're still developing. Our effort is an A every time out. There's no question about that. You know, our execution's got to get better. We've got to stop making as many hitting errors as we are. That's kind of been our problem. And so it keeps us from siding out quickly enough, and we kind of give up points in bunches. And so that's something we've got to get better at, and get more of our players involved offensively. We're really outside hitter dominated right now. We got to get our middles and our right sides a little bit more involved. And you know, but as we get into conference play, I think another week from now we're going to be in pretty good shape. I really like how this team is setting up, and we're going to be okay.
Tony Graystone, head coach of Texas A&M Corpus Christi Onagers Volleyball, joining us. Coach, good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you.
When we come back to Onagers Insider, we'll bring you up to speed on what's coming up next for Onagers Athletics. Stay with us. More to come.
It's that time of year again, when all the conditioning and all the hard work pays off. It's time for the State Farm Southland Conference Mascot Challenge. Izzy's been putting in long hours getting ready, and he needs your help. Vote online via the Southland Conference Facebook page or by visiting tinyurl.com/mascot1314. The winning program gets $5,000. So vote every day. Go Islanders.
Welcome back to Onagers Insider. To wrap things up today, let's take a look forward to what's next for Onagers Athletics. Onagers Volleyball will hit the road at the Hilton Maverick Classic September 14th to 15th, hosted by University of Texas at Arlington. Then they'll open up Southland Conference play at McNeese State on September 17th at 7 p.m. They'll continue travel at Houston Baptist on the 19th, also a 7 p.m. start, that again Southland Conference action. Then they'll return home on September 20th as they take on UT Pan American in the Dugan at 7 p.m. Onagers Soccer will be heading off to Wilmington, North Carolina for the Courtyard Marriott Wilmington Invitational September 13th and 14th. Then they'll head back here to the Dugan Soccer and Track Facility as they take on Southeastern Louisiana on Friday, September 20th at 4 p.m. Then they'll face the Nichols Colonels on September 22nd at 1 o'clock here at Dugan Stadium. And Onagers Cross Country will head to the Rice Invite in Houston on Friday, September 13th. Then they'll host their lone event of the season, the Onagers Splash, on Friday, September 27th at West Guth Park. Once again, we want to thank everyone who joined us here today. We want to thank the people in studio, including, of course, Shanna Caldwell, head coach of Onagers Soccer, Tony Graystone, the head coach of Onagers Volleyball, and, of course, also thanks to Teddy Medina and his report on Onagers men's basketball. From the locker room, I'm Stephen King. This has been Onagers Insider.